welcome to another episode of Cosmos with Cosmos. As always, I'm Mike.
I'm Liz.
And we got Brandon in an airport somewhere.
Yeah.
I'm not even sure what airport he's in. It's probably might be in Phoenix.
He's with us in spirit and in chat for the next 10 minutes.
Yeah. So today we're just gonna give an update on Mars. What's it doing?
Yeah, we haven't stopped by Mars in a while. You can check out our High in the Sky episode that we released last time, which had a James Webb Space update because a lot of cool stuff has been coming out, and we were like, wait a minute, Mars, Perseverance, and Ingenuity have been up there for a while. We haven't talked about them for a bit, so I think it's time to follow up with those plucky little robots.
Yeah. So we're gonna do that today. Before we get into what we're into the meat of the show, let's talk about what we're drinking.
Yeah.
So what are you drinking?
Oh gosh, you give me the most unstable glasses for these things.
It's supposed to go in that.
I know. I'm drinking a Marcianini. A French Marcianini, if you will. It is vanilla vodka, pineapple juice.
And that creme de cassis?
Creme de cassis.
Yeah.
Creme de cassis.
Yeah.
It's like a blackberry liqueur. Yeah.
Brandon, we'll get to you in a second, man. We'll get to you in a second.
What are you drinking, good sir?
I am drinking, I have two drinks. They are called the Sherlock and Watson.
Hey!
My Sherlock here is basically a Moscow Mule.
Okay.
Yeah. But ginger beer, peach vodka, popped with cranberry juice instead of lime juice. And my Watson is nothing more than just peach tea with peach vodka. So that's what I got. Peachy. Yeah. Today's a peach day. It's hot.
Yeah, it's a perfect summer drink.
All right. So as always, follow us on all the things, Twitter, X, whatever the hell you want to call it.
Yeah, we gotta call it something else. I gotta change the logos. Ugh.
It's Twitter. It'll always be Twitter. It'll always be the little blue bird. But X before what's his face shows up and tries to shoot me. So anyway, at X is drinking Cosmos. On everything else, Cosmos with Cosmos. Follow us and rate us on all the things: iTunes, Spotify, wherever you get your podcasts. Don't forget to join us for the Hangover right after this episode about Mars, where I have no idea what we're going to talk about because I really hadn't even thought that far.
We don't think that far ahead for the Hangover because it's just a shooting the shit.
Is it? Yeah. I was going to say shit show, but I knew that wasn't right. But I mean, sometimes it is. Also, while you're following us, take the opportunity to check out Wildixia at Etsy. Right? It's Etsy, right?
Yeah.
And it's right there in the notes.
How many times have we done the show where we say the same things?
But for a moment, my brain was like, I don't think it's that.
We don't have this part memorized yet.
No, I mean yes, but my brain was like, I don't think it's that.
Yeah,
Anyway, she's got really cool stuff on it, and buy some of her prints, buy all her prints. And then buy all her prints for your neighbor and everybody else. And so, definitely check that out. The MrProctorShow.com, Ron Proctor's website, where he talks about really everything from space sciences, science education, to what it's like to be a teacher in Texas, of all places. And of course, if you are in the Council Bluff region, which is in western Iowa, eastern Nebraska, make your way to Rolling Bluffs Planetarium and check out Jack's Planetarium. Which I found out, I finally looked up what kind of system he has. It's the same system they have in Eugene.
Oh, hey. Yeah.
All right.
And Jack is drinking a strawberry caramel iced tea, and I have never thought about strawberries and caramel specifically together before, I don't think. strawberries and chocolate kind of dominate.
Strawberries
So
and chocolate,
and oolong tea. So that sounds good. Refreshingly
I thought
sweet.
you were going to talk longer.
No. I'm sorry. Fill the void now.
So I was going to take a drink. All right. And of course, every other Wednesday, we have one coming out this Wednesday?
Not this Wednesday, but the Wednesday after this Wednesday.
Or
the Wednesday following when this episode airs remotely on things. Or remotely. Is put up on Spotify and stuff.
Anyway, just check it out. The Shot. Check it out. We're recording one right after this podcast. And when I say we, it's going to be me. And I am probably going to be Blitz. So
you can check out our most recent episode of The Shot on Voyager 2.
Voyager 2. All right. As always, there are rules.
Oh.
Anytime a puppy barks, take a drink.
Yay.
Jack barks at everything now, so just take a drink. If there's a Star Wars reference or a Lord of the Rings reference, please take a drink. We also have a special hidden rule. It's a secret rule that only Brandon and I know about.
It's going to be one of those like dumb words I say all the time or something.
I just have to remember. So it'll probably only happen once, but it will probably definitely happen, and I'll go take a drink, and then confetti will fall from the sky, and
you get magical confetti.
Take a drink. Oh God! All right, Brandon just did. Do we have to take a drink for us in chat?
No, because chat is technically not part of this part of the show. It's part of the hangover. So a lot of times I'll like cut out stuff that
keep it secret, keep it safe.
Well, now it's in the show, and I gotta find my. Okay. Oh.
You gotta find what? What are you gonna find?
The button. My drink button.
Oh, you found it.
I did.
All right, so let's talk Mars.
Mars.
Red planet.
Yay!
All right, so I figured before we dive into missions, because that's really kind of what the update is kind of where some of these missions are.
Yeah,
and I didn't even include all the missions that are there.
Oh, I was only even thinking about like the rovers and what they've been up to.
Yeah, and so
what the helicopter's been up to.
Yeah, so and I got that, and that's what I was thinking. But then I was like, wait a minute, there are other missions there. So
that's fair.
And then 20 minutes before the podcast, I did find a website that I can just cheat with it. But anyway,
well, work smarter, not harder.
No, Planetary Society. Thank you. All right, so right now, Mars is in Leo. It's actually near the back legs.
It means nothing to you personally.
Oh,
that
okay.
just happens to be where Mars is. It help you find it in the sky. It's in Leo, the light, which is a springtime constellation.
It is a springtime constellation.
And so it's
and it's heading towards another one too, Virgo.
Oh,
it's kind of on the border. It's on the border between the two.
Okay.
But Mars is near the back legs of Leo, and kind of right there near Virgo as well. It has a magnitude of 1.78. The higher the number, the dimmer it is. The smaller the number, the brighter it is. For comparison,
thank you. I was like, I don't know what this means. I mean, I know how bright it is in the sky, but
for comparison, Venus is minus 4.12.
Oh wow.
Also, for comparison, the sun is minus 26 something.
Oh, okay.
So
down in the negative 20s, you're at blinding brightness in the sky.
Yeah. So Venus is about 15 times brighter than Mars right now in the sky.
Okay. Yeah.
Nice. Mars is 2.428931 AU from Earth. 2.58.
Yeah,
2.4 AU
round that up. 2.4 AU. Okay,
yeah.
And the Earth is 1 AU.
Yeah, so 93 million miles. So we're a little over, maybe about 220 million miles from Earth. Just rough thing. It takes light 20 minutes and 12 seconds to go from Earth to Mars or from Mars to Earth. Oh. So when you're communicating with these little spacecraft and rovers and such, it takes 20 minutes for that signal to get there.
Oh, wow. Okay.
And that's our show. That's our update.
Anyway, cool.
Thanks for coming.
It's there. It's hanging out. It's chilling.
It's chilling. It's
literally
very cold.
chilling. Yeah, it's cold on Mars. Yeah.
All right, so let's just talk about some of the missions that we do have there, and we're going to begin with the rovers.
Yay! Robots! The robots live on Mars.
They do. They do.
They are the sole inhabitants.
And take a drink, everybody. Take a drink.
Oh, what was that? Me indicating that they're the only life things living on Mars.
Yep. That's it. So take a drink. We were waiting. I knew it was gonna. No confetti.
Of course it's gonna happen. Of course. Okay. I mean, I have to say that every time we talk about Mars.
I was really convinced.
I mean, I'm wearing the shirt that says it. Like.
I was so confident that it was gonna happen before Brandon got on that plane, and he did not disappoint.
You're welcome. I'm glad I'm so predictable.
All right, so there's some. All right, so Curiosity, just to remind you, it landed in Gale Crater on August 5th of 2012. So it's been there for 11 years.
It's been
just celebrate 11 years.
12 already.
Yeah, so 11 years. It's 11 years old on Mars.
Crazy.
Mm-hmm. It has been on Mars.
It's lived on Mars the same amount of time that I lived in Phoenix.
That's true. And one lived in a hotter place, and one lived in a
colder
colder
place. But similar scenery.
Right. And Curiosity did this just incredible friggin' landing.
I love it.
With sky crane and all kinds of videos that that it gives animations about how it did, and it was absolutely amazing.
Yeah, check out our Mars. We have another Mars episode, I'm sure, out there where we talk about it. Yeah.
Oh, by the way, this is our 93rd episode.
Oh, hey!
So we're quickly approaching 100. So sometime later this year, I think we'll hit 100.
Cool.
And then I don't know what we're going to do. 100 years of astronomy? I don't know. But it's been more than...
We've kind of done that.
Yeah. It's been on Mars for 3,914 days. Just chilling out. So it just celebrated Sol 3...
What's that in years?
11 years.
Oh, right. We just talked about that. I got confused because then you went to days and I was like, I need a conversion for that. I wasn't even thinking.
It was great. You confused me for a second. Like, what? All right.
So dumb.
It's driven 30.65 kilometers. So, and
okay,
American
now
for
thank you. Yes, this I need the conversion for.
19.05 miles. So
19 miles in 11 years. That is very slow.
It's just going at its own pace.
Yeah,
it's doing its thing. Doing its thing. I originally put it in miles, but I was like, you know what? Science uses the metric system.
Yeah.
And the metric system makes more sense than this empirical shit we use.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, and Federico's going to be probably joining us. I'm going to do it in kilometers and everything. We can put it in the metric system. That's what we do. I'll just have to convert everything for you.
Yes, thank you, because...
All right, so here are some of the things that have come out recently with Curiosity. Of course, James Webb has dominated the news when it comes to...
Of course. It's the new big shiny
space. Thing. It's a big new shiny thing, but Curiosity and Perseverance and all these other objects are still going strong, and they're studying and making discoveries. And one of the things that Curiosity discovered was ancient mud cracks on Mars suggest Red Planet may have been more habitable than thought.
Ooh,
yeah,
and so where the riverbeds were there, huh?
Yeah, and so Curiosity, well, it has found lots of evidence that there's life. Not life. Water.
Yes,
water on Mars.
And its discoveries have been very curious.
Oh God, I love you. All right. So what Curiosity discovered was this hexagon tiled rock.
Hexagon tiled rock.
Yeah, and
so it's like a rock that is in the shape of a hexagon.
Well, it's basically mud flats that have
the
hexagon shapes to them. It's a pattern.
Okay.
And what it suggests is that where it is in Gale Crater underwent periods of wetness and then dryness. And, it did this, these wet spells and dry spells for up to like 1 million years, which, doesn't seem, all that, crazy or anything like that. But
it seems like normal planetary behavior.
Yeah, but what they have found is through previous research suggests, like here on Earth, looking at things here on Earth.
Comparative planetology, everyone.
Hey, yeah, exactly. Previous research suggests that these dry spells may have helped, maybe have been helpful for the evolution of life.
Really?
Yeah. So what happens is organic compounds, they form in the water. So this is in the wet period, and then it dries out and they become concentrated, and that leads to simple organic molecules that then combine to form larger molecules such as proteins, RNA, and DNA.
Oh, okay. So being dry allows them to like come together.
Yeah,
basically.
it concentrates them because when it's wet, they kind of spread out.
Right, they're
floating around doing their thing, and then when it dries, they concentrate and they come together right now.
Forming life.
Well, forming more
organic
complex molecules.
But possibly.
All right, so this is just more evidence that early Mars just may have been conducive to the emergence of life. And so, so that's actually a pretty big thing, and so that has discovered that. It's also begun its toughest climb yet.
It's going up. Well, it had they put, which one do they put the better shoes on? Wheels. Perseverance? Okay, because they were going to do some more off-roading with Perseverance, right?
Well, yeah, but also based on what they learned with Curiosity.
And everything. So it's going to go climb. Is it climbing the mountain now?
Well, it's at the foothill, so it's starting to. I mean, it has made some climbs. It's made some climbs, but.
And this is in Gale Crater. It's that rebound, basically
Mount Sharp.
The peak in the crater that's from the rebound of the impact.
Yeah, so Gale Crater is really big, and one of the cool things about impacts is that the small impacts tend to be just kind of flat on the bottom. They're just flat. But really large ones, what happens is all this stuff gets thrown out, like it does with any crater. But there's this rebound effect that hits in the center and creates this central peak. And you only see them in big craters.
Yeah. Big bada boomies. In fact, you can get like a tray of like a flour. And like some like bouncy balls or some sort of like rubber ball or something, and you can throw them into the flour, and you can like do your own little crater experiments to see how different sizes and shapes and make a mess of flour everywhere. It sounds like every parent's nightmare, every person's nightmare. Flour, aside from glitter everywhere, but at least glitter can be pretty.
Yeah, but you don't get it off. I mean, so if we have a kid, are we going to do flour meteorites
outside? Outside. Man, Brandon is on a roll in chat. Okay, he's at the airport. He says, I don't know if we can trust what scientists say about Martian geology.
Yep.
Well done, sir.
All right.
Oh no, we're losing it. Oh, we lost internet for a second. Okay, there we go.
Are you back on?
Yeah, we're fine.
All right.
Anyway.
Nice so Curiosity, I don't remember which rover we were talking about.
Yes, Curiosity.
Curiosity is at Mount Sharp, and so they're saying that this is, and it's been doing this drive for the past few months, and it's pretty much the most arduous climb Curiosity has ever made. There have been steeper climbs and riskier terrain, but the mission has never had faced the trifecta of challenges posed by the slope, which has a slope of 23 degrees, which is pretty big for a rover. 23-degree incline, slippery sand, and wheel-sized rocks. So there's
big rocks on it.
Yeah, so there's a lot of things that it has to overcome, and they're saying that this is like trying to run through like a sand dune.
Oh no! So there's gonna be a lot of like.
Yeah. And so.
I remember talking about this in the planetarium when Curiosity first like got there, and I remember talking about like, and they're gonna go up Mount Sharp, and it's finally happening. They finally made it to it.
Yeah, and as far as how its wheels are holding up, I'm not really sure how they're holding up, but I'm pretty sure they're doing pretty well. I mean, it's still
movable. I mean, I guess if the wheels like weren't in a good enough condition for this, they wouldn't even attempt going up it because they would want to stay in terrain that, you know, it can last longer in and not risk getting immediately stuck or something. So I guess they're pretty confident about proceeding in this direction.
So, I mean, to be clear, NASA wants you to know that the rover is not in any danger. So.
Oh, I was worried. It could be in danger. There's so many threats out there.
Yeah.
You know, you don't know what comes out at night. You know, you don't really know. I mean, it's pitch black. You know,
you can get stuck.
Mm-hmm.
Like Spirit or Opportunity Spirit. One of them got stuck.
I was thinking more like maybe Mars vampires.
Oh, I know exactly what you're talking about. But it struggled in May and June. To be honest and fair, but you know, they have a plan, and so it's just, I guess it's just gonna kind of weave its way.
It's good that Curiosity has shown such perseverance.
You're combining them now.
I know. You see what I did there? Yeah.
Spirit got stuck.
Curiosity's like Vin Diesel in Pitch Black fending off aliens. I like it.
Back in June,
use those lasers.
Back in June, Curiosity sent us a postcard, as one does. On Mars.
Postcard home.
Yeah, and it was two pictures at the same site. And one picture was a morning picture, and the other one was an afternoon picture, and it was side-by-side comparison. You get to see the lighting changes, and in particular how it affects the coloring of the atmosphere is really pretty stark. So yeah, the morning is kind of an orangish atmosphere, and the afternoon is definitely more bluish. At least in the picture. Okay. So and when I say bluish, I'm not talking about blue like our sky.
Yeah.
A different. It's a different shade of blue.
It's alien.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's Martian.
But that picture, even though it was released in June, the picture was taken in wintertime for Curiosity. Oh. And the reason why they chose to do it in wintertime was because the atmosphere is a little clearer, has less dust in it.
Okay.
Unlike our atmosphere.
Yeah.
But you can go to the Curiosity website on NASA and
Google Curiosity rover.
Yeah, and you'll be able to see that picture.
Check it out.
Yeah.
That's cool. I want to look at it now. I haven't seen
it. I meant to. I have a link in the notes, and I meant to grab these and have you do your magic.
Make a little image slideshow to pop up for the people watching this.
Yeah, but I got distracted by so many other things.
You know.
All right, so let's make our way to the other rover.
I segued you too early. I was trying to do a segue, but I didn't realize you had a whole nother little thing.
All right, so by the numbers with Perseverance. Yeah. So
Curiosity's upgraded little brother.
Big brother.
Well, big little brother.
Well, they kind of like
it's younger, so that's why I'm saying it's.
Got you.
You know, that's where I'm going with it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it landed in Jezero Crater on February 18th, 2021. We watched that.
We did. We watched it. We were excited. We were on the edge of our seats. We were like, oh God, oh no.
We had a food spread. It was our Super Bowl.
It was our Super Bowl. Brandon was Brandon over for that? Brandon, were you over for that, or was that just us? I can't remember. Did we live it? Did we live stream that?
I think that we did a live stream of it.
Yeah.
And yeah, I believe we live streamed that.
Yeah.
And that's Brandon was with us.
Yeah.
Via that.
Yeah, he was living with us.
Oh.
So.
Well, then,
Yeah.
he was with us.
God, it's amazing how we just can't remember.
But then we did live stream it.
Yeah, we did live stream it. I remember that.
All right. Today is Saw 882. So that's how many days it's been on there.
Yes, the days on Mars are called sols, SOL,
yeah,
for the sun.
And so it's been a few years
Since
you wanted it years earlier.
Thank you.
It's been a couple of years. It has driven. Don't get dog bit. It has driven 19.51 kilometers. I'll let you do the math.
I don't know what the math is to do, even if I could do the math.
12.12 miles.
Oh, wow. So
It's moving quick.
It's moving quick. Yeah. I mean, Curiosity, 11 years, 19 miles, and Perseverance, 2 years and 2.5 and 12 miles. All right. So it's going. It's moving. It's going.
Yeah. It'll surpass.
Do they have like a specific destination that they're going to right now?
Well, it's at Bluff Crater. As far as its specific destination, I'm not really sure.
No, they're just okay. So it's gone to another crater.
Yeah, and we'll get into Bluff Crater at least at some point here. Okay. I think with a picture. So, all right. So, images from May show. Actually, hold on. Images might show a record of a wild Martian river.
A wild not just any Martian river, a wild Martian river. What does that mean, wild? Did they clarify? Did they?
I think it was just
like it's like a.
Well, no, actually, it is kind of wild. So, just talking about like how fast it's moving when they say wild.
Oh, okay.
Not like it's.
I'm thinking like
doing crazy stuff.
Doing some crazy shit. It's just out of control. It's running wild.
Yeah. So evidence is showing that that there was a river that was deeper and faster moving than scientists have ever seen evidence for in the past.
Wow. I mean, a river runs through it.
Okay.
I don't know. I could have waited a little bit longer to.
Yeah, and the river was part of a network of waterways that flowed into Jezero Crater.
Okay. Did it say how fast they think it was moving?
They did not. But
I mean, they can tell that just by how eroded the rocks are, or like how they're.
We're getting there.
Okay.
So understanding these watery environments can help scientists in their efforts to seek out signs of ancient microbial life, and that may have been preserved in the rock. Mm-hmm. But they want to know if the water flowed relatively shallow and slower streams, mm-hmm. like they have at Curiosity. So, or if a more powerful river streams, and that is what they found. So they stitched together hundreds of images that were captured by Perseverance Mastcam Z instrument. Mm-hmm. And some of these mosaics suggest that the more powerful river is the way it was, and there are some important clues. There is coarse sediment grains and this thing they call cobbles. Cobbles. But anyway, those indicate that a high energy river that was carrying a lot of debris flowed, and the more powerful the flow of water, the more easily it was able to move those larger pieces of material. So they're seeing the larger like larger rocks and mm-hmm. stuff that had. Okay, all right, that's interesting. That's cool. Yeah, and it's I like that there's contrast to what they found in Curiosity. I love that. We have our planet, the Earth, as data point number 1 of everything that happens on the Earth, and we can in the universe, and we can take that and we can go, all right, like with the images from the surface of Saturn's largest moon, Titan, from the Huygens lander, and those rocks that they showed there, have been look like rocks in riverbeds here on Earth, showing erosion from water stuff. We can take,
that looks familiar, and we can see consistencies of behavior of things throughout the solar system, and then we can know exactly what was going on there, because we can see the exact same stuff happening here on the Earth.
Exactly.
And I love it.
Yeah, I know, right? It's that comparative planetology thing that you're talking about.
And we wouldn't know, and we wouldn't be able to know any of this or understand any of this just by looking at Mars through a telescope. Like, we have to have sent at least rovers there to do that science for us, so we can get, that data, because there's only a telescope can only be so powerful,
Right, it can only tell you so much.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
it can't see these fine details or, sample what, is inside these rocks, what they're made of, that kind of thing.
Speaking of which.
Hey!
Nice segue. You and your guns.
This is the finger gun show. This is Liz's finger gun show.
All right, so one of the things that Perseverance has, been doing is collecting rock samples. And so it continues to do that. It has collected, I think, 20 of these things. It has deposited some of them as a cache to be picked up later,
if we ever can.
Yeah, we'll get to that in a bit, but and so it continues to do that, and it will what they call core a rock, and it'll get a rock, and
does it use that with a drill?
It's got a brush.
Does it also have a laser like Curiosity where it can zap?
I don't know if it zaps them, because I think what they want is the interior of the rock to stay as is.
Oh, okay, so it's not like
So what they
I get.
All right, so the most recent rock that the science team cored or worked on was Berea. I hope I'm saying that right.
How's it
like
spelled?
La Brea, I'm thinking La Brea's tar pits.
Oh yeah, Berea.
Yeah, and
the tar pits are Brea, just Brea. La Brea tar pits, but this is Berea.
Okay, Berea. Yeah. So the science. That's right. And there was a show, wasn't it, La Brea?
Yeah. Based off the actual tar pits.
Yeah,
that would be cool to see. I would like to see this one day. Anyway.
All right, so the science team believes that Berea formed from rock deposited that were carried downstream by an ancient river, which apparently was flowing pretty good.
Yeah, pretty quickly.
And that means that the material could have come from well beyond the confines of Jezero Crater. So moving it from outside of the crater. Okay. It's a rich carbonate rock, which on Earth is good at preserving fossilized life forms. So, so that's going to be part of a cache that will eventually be picked up. I thought it was going to be more.
No. The rest was in my head and it didn't come out my mouth. But...
No, it did not. Can you imagine? I can imagine a lot of things. What are you currently imagining?
Imagine all the fossils.
Oh, well done. Breaking out like, what's his face? John Lennon.
This is the singing finger gun episode by Liz.
All right, so once you get these rocks, you have two instruments on board that actually look at them.
Oh, I wonder what they could be named.
Sherlock and Watson. All right, so Sherlock is short for scanning habitable environments with Raman and luminescence for organics and chemicals.
Guys, sometimes you just gotta not.
Yeah.
I mean, Sherlock sounds cool. You're investigating Mars, but there comes a limit on your what are they, anagrams? No.
Yeah, whatever those things are.
Brandon knows. He knows how to write things. He knows grammar.
I think it's great. I mean, I love Sherlock Holmes, but this had to have been somebody that was just an insane... Initialisms. Had to be somebody that was just an insane fan of Sherlock. You know?
Well, I mean, look, you got craters, you got things on named after Lord of the Rings, you've got composers, you've got acronyms. Okay.
Anyway, the Sherlock is an instrument that helps scientists figure out if a rock is worth collecting.
Okay. Are you worthy?
And it is essential to the Mars Sample Return Program.
Okay, Federico is right. NASA is initialism. Acronym is the correct thing.
Yeah. So, Sherlock's capability centered on a technique that looks at the chemical makeup of the rock by analyzing how the light scatters on the rock. So the instrument directs an ultraviolet laser at its target.
So it does have a laser. It just has a UV laser instead of, it has a purple lightsaber instead. I don't know why, because UV to me is purple.
Well, it's right there at purple.
Yeah, and Curiosity has a red lightsaber, so.
Oh. Curiosity.
Curiosity is going to be Anakin. Oh my gosh, we do. We haven't had a Star Wars reference in a while.
Anyway, so how the light is absorbed and then emitted provides a fingerprint for the different molecules for it. And this enables scientists to classify organics and minerals present in the rock and understand the environment in which the rock forms. So salty water, for example, will have a different look than fresh water. Yeah.
Right, okay.
So there's that. And so after Sherlock captures a rock's textures, Watson comes in with a wide-angle topographic sensor for operations and engineering.
They used the N to be engineering.
They did.
That was a stretch, guys. That's a stretch.
And it adds data to those images to create a spatial map of chemicals of the rock surface. And so they can get even more data and go, okay, we can keep this rock or just, I don't know, jettison it, whatever.
Guys, regular rock, possible life rock. Regular rock, possible life rock.
Yeah, pretty much. So, so Curiosity over in Gale Crater has confirmed the presence of organic molecules several times. And scientists really want the same thing with Jezero Crater. And so this is a great instrument for that.
Well, it seems like they're in a good location.
Yeah, so Sherlock has found organic compounds and samples that will be returned to Earth at a future date. We
shall see.
Yes.
We shall see.
And so since the rover is at Belva Crater, it has caught a picture. In April, it took a picture of Belva Crater. Actually, it took 152 pictures. And they were stitched together. And Belva Crater is a smaller impact crater about 0.6 miles across within the larger Jezero.
It's a crater within a crater. We got craterception.
Craterception,
yes. Right.
And as with all images that NASA takes, sure, there are, and it's a beautiful panorama, and NASA wants people to see this panorama. They want to download it and put it on your wall or whatever. But just being inspired by what these rovers are doing. But like with any picture that NASA takes, scientists find something in it.
Yes.
There's nothing that's just purely a beauty shot.
Nothing is just like, this is pretty. No, it always has some sort of thing you can learn from it.
Right. And then so even within this picture they found plenty of evidence of flowing water.
Okay, really? They could see like little they little,
saw
like the divots or the flow lines,
And again, wherever there's water on Earth, there's life, generally. And I think you could probably take generally out and say wherever there's water, there's life of some kind.
I mean, there's life you can't see in a lot of waters.
Yeah, and you have extremophiles that can live in very acidic environments, and
your water bears, your tardigrades.
The water bears that are even.
They're even on the moon.
They are. Brandon loves that.
Brandon got really mad in the airport just now.
He's gonna get on a plane and just cuss everybody out.
Damn tardigrades.
We're gonna see a report later where Brandon had to be restrained in his
man removed from flight yelling about water bears.
We will not even need to read the article. Be like, Brandon.
Oh man.
Brandon.
Whoops.
But you can actually go to NASA website for Perseverance and check out that. And check out that image. But when Perseverance landed, it was not alone. Had a little helicopter.
It had a buddy.
Had a little buddy.
It had its wingman.
Yeah, very. That's your best one. That's your best one so far. So by the numbers, Ingenuity. Its first flight was April 19th of 2021. So a little over 2 years ago. It has completed 54 flights. It has gone 12,240 meters. I'll let you do the math on that.
No.
40,158 feet.
Wow.
Yeah, so pretty far.
Wasn't it just, it's supposed to just fly once?
Just a few flights.
Just be let's just try it a couple times, guys. It'll hover a little bit.
Yeah, they want to do just a few flights. Right.
As with, when we succeed with our robots on Mars, we really fucking succeed with them.
Well,
when we fail, we will fail with them. But when we succeed, really, there's no just all right, it worked to its designated parameters. It always just goes above and beyond.
Yeah, so I think NASA has really embraced the Scotty mentality.
I was just gonna say they're doing the engineer thing that also LaForge does. Where it's you say.
Well, no,
LaForge
but
learned
in the
it from Scotty.
Well, yeah, but he learned it from Scotty in that great episode. Relics.
Yeah. They're just They're just trying to set our bar low so that when they know the bar is actually.
the highest Ingenuity has flown has been 18 meters or 59 feet.
Just one more foot, guys.
It's one more foot. I'm sure to get there. The fastest it's gone was 6.5 meters per second, which is 14.5 miles per hour.
That's pretty quick.
It's pretty quick, yeah.
Flying through that. I mean, you have less wind resistance on Mars because it's a much thinner atmosphere.
And it's a real small little thing.
Is it traveling far from Perseverance, or are they keeping them? They keep them pretty.
They keep them. They're very close together now.
Are they required to work kind of together?
They do work together now. That was not the original plan.
Oh,
but it is the plan now.
And they can use Ingenuity, I'm assuming, to then go and plot kind of like a scout.
That's it. That's exactly how they do it.
Look at me.
So yeah, it is. It does the.
Brandon says they typically give shorter lifespans on estimates, so their operation budget stays low during the approval process. Allegedly, they know what they're doing. These are fucking rocket scientists.
Yeah. So they basically Ingenuity. It is helping plot the course.
Okay. Yeah.
All
They're
right.
really like the Sherlock and Watson.
Yeah, they really are, because they really do work together.
Yeah.
The total flight time has been 5,731 seconds, which is 95 and a half minutes, roughly.
Wow, that's... What does it do when it's not flying? Where does it land?
It just sits.
It just sits on the ground?
Waits for instructions. Yeah, so...
It'd be cute if it was like Perseverance's back. It just lands, straps in. It has little clamps.
Like those little birds on hippos?
Like little birds on hippos. And Perseverance is just going along with its little...
Alright, so its most recent flight was flight number 54, which occurred on August 3rd, so a week ago.
Okay, just a little bit.
And it was a short 25-second up and down. That's all they wanted to do.
Boop!
Yeah.
Why?
Because on flight 53, there was a bit of an issue. Yeah, so on flight 53...
there's always an issue at some point for something, right?
Yeah, so on flight 53, it flew for 74 of the planned 136 seconds. So it only did a little more than half of the flight. And so they wanted to try to figure out why with flight number 54, once they got it to be able to go again, they wanted to use that flight to try to figure out what potentially happened with Flight 53.
Okay.
And they think that the early landing was triggered when the image frames from the helicopter's navigation camera did not sync up as expected with the data from the rotorcraft's inertial measurement unit. Yeah, and so when that happens, its number one job is just to land.
Okay.
And to not go any further. And so it basically, it hit it hit something that wasn't adding up, and
it's like a safety move. It's like,
go
back
now. The land is what kicked in.
Okay.
But yeah, I mean, so it looks like Flight 54 did everything that it was supposed to do, and it's all good to go now.
Okay, that's good.
And again, so now it'll get back to helping plot out the path for.
And there was a recent image that I think came up from Ingenuity, and you can see Perseverance in the background of it.
Yep, so they are working together now. And by the way, what happened on Flight 53 is not the only time it's happened. It actually happened in Flight 6 as well.
Flight 6?
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's been a minute.
So, I mean, for nothing ever to go wrong, no hiccups whatsoever would be just, the chances of no hiccups, astronomical. Pun intended, of course. But, there's going to be... there's going to be hiccups at some point. You don't want a catastrophic hiccup, but there's going to be
there's going to be those two. And, let's be honest, the catastrophic hiccups, those are learning, teaching moments. And so we do learn from them.
You just got to scare it, and it'll be okay.
Yeah. All right, so...
it's already holding its breath.
Yeah. So Perseverance has been... doing these samples that we want to return to Earth.
Now we may not actually come back to Earth because of budget issues.
Why are you stealing my thunder?
Oh, I'm sorry. Brady put that in chat.
Why are you doing that? Why are you people doing that?
Oh, you guys do that to me all the time.
Anyway, the Mars vehicle, screw it, whatever. Let's just move on. Anyway, in March, NASA test fired the rocket motors for the Mars ascent vehicle.
Okay, this is the one that is supposed to go to Mars and collect everything.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So this is going to go to Mars. It's going to land, and it will collect everything, and then it will be the first rocket launched from another planet.
I want this to happen because that is so hard. I can't even think because, we know the mass of Mars and we know the atmospheric pressure and we know we know we can do it by numbers, but but then to actually do it without any totally remotely.
Yeah.
It just
well, I know. We all want it. We definitely all want that to happen. It'll be so exciting, and that you did that.
Yeah.
Launch another rocket from the surface of another planet
that has completely different launch conditions, parameters, needs, requirements,
and
things.
Also, to be fair, an easier launch
because there's less atmosphere.
Less.
You need less fuel then because you need less fuel to break.
Right. It's only a 2-stage rocket. It's solid rocket.
Normally it's 3-stage. 4-stage? What's the normal rocket?
Well, it depends on what you want to do. Okay. If you want to go to the moon...
If you want to leave a planet.
If you want to go to the moon, it's a 3-stage rocket.
If you want to go to Mars.
It was 2. It's less atmosphere, so less
No, if you want to go to Mars.
It's a 3-stage rocket because you have to leave Earth's gravity.
That's what
so that third
So it's normally a 3-stage rocket. Yeah. Well, if you're going to ISS, probably just a 2-stage.
Yeah.
Because you're not leaving Earth's gravity.
Right.
You're not breaking the... you're not reaching escape velocity. That's the term I was trying to get to.
You're not reaching escape velocity.
Yeah. Mars has less escape velocity.
So, it's a 2-stage rocket. They test-fired both engines for the rocket in conditions that simulated Mars. So, temperature of minus 20 degrees Celsius, which is minus 4 degrees Fahrenheit.
Did they have a big...
A cold room, I guess.
Thing that they can because okay.
Yeah. And they were both successful. And the quote is, "The hardware is telling us that our technology is ready to proceed with development." Wow, that's just a beautiful quote.
Our technology is ready to proceed with development.
So the MAV, the Mars Ascent Vehicle, will land on Mars with a sample retrieval lander near it.
are going to think of a more creative name for that, right? Than SRL.
Yeah, sample, yeah. However, though, as you guys stole the thunder, it is facing a little bit of jeopardy after the U.S. Senate raised questions about the mission's expanded
Fuck off,
budget.
U.S. Senate. Fuck the fuck right off, U.S. Senate. Get the fuck out of here and fuck off, all right? Why don't you fuck off with your military and put all my tax dollars to NASA and Mars missions and all the space missions. Just get what you have no idea what you're talking about, Senate. Get out of here.
The guy that who's in charge of NASA? The guy.
Is that Bolden? No, Bolden was.
No, it was the dude who was there for like James Webb. He was a senator, but now he's like over NASA.
Brandon will know.
Yeah, he just looks like a fucking mannequin. And you know, a mannequin has had like a lot of facelift surgery. His face just looks stuck.
Is it a mannequin with or without nipples?
You know, I used to work at Dillard's. All mannequins have nipples.
Do they really? Okay.
Yeah, it's really.
You used to work at Dillard's?
Yeah, I did. Yeah.
Oh.
I would wheel the clothes out to the different places. So.
Bill Nelson. Brandon says who's done a surprisingly good job for a mannequin.
For a mannequin. No, he just looks like a mannequin.
What's that movie where the mannequin comes to life? Isn't there a movie where a mannequin comes to life? Is that like a Brooke Shields as the mannequin? I don't know. But there's a movie where some mannequin comes to life.
Oh, vaguely. Yeah, vaguely kind of.
I don't know. Anyway.
Where it's we did that.
Was that the astrology episode?
It was the astrology episode. All right, so really, because of time, one more mission that I want to talk about because I did find this really kind of interesting. Okay. The Insight lander.
Ah, yes.
May it rest in peace. May it rest in peace. It's no longer with us. However, the science is still being sifted through, and the science is still being analyzed. And what they did is they found that Mars is spinning faster than thought.
Oh, it has a shorter day?
It has a shorter day than thought.
And its day was similar to our day.
It is, but it's a little closer now.
Really?
Yeah, but not that much. Oh. So... All right, so...
how do we get Mars's rotation wrong?
Well, okay, you're going to find that, well, yeah. Yeah, I mean, that's one thing. I mean, yeah, and you can have spacecraft that...
Mm-hmm. Because we have satellites in orbit.
Yeah, and so, but, I'm building this up as if this is going to be like a 4-hour difference. It's not. It's not going to be anywhere near.
It's like a point.
So... but what I found really fascinating was just the way they did it. And so, using the Deep Space Network, Sebastien Lemaistre of the Royal Observatory of Belgium beamed radio signals to the Insight lander. Oh. Okay, easy enough.
Okay, yeah.
There was a thing on Insight called RISE, which is rotation and interior experiment, but basically what Sebastian did was he reflected the signals off of that and back to the Earth. So he used it as a mirror.
Okay, yeah.
And so so what they did was they tracked the position, and it allowed them to track the position of the lander and to determine exactly how fast Mars rotates. And Mars is accelerating or spinning faster, and they say accelerating, so it's going to continue to...
I wonder if it was like a past impact that is causing this, that it's still...
Give me a sec.
Okay. Look, I'm...
All right, so Mars is accelerating faster than... Mars is accelerating by a fraction of a millisecond a year, so it's not a lot. But it's enough to measure, and you're talking about maybe 30 centimeters. And so that's going to be about 12 inches or so a year.
That it moves faster. Wow, actually, that's pretty good. That's actually a lot.
And that's over the course of a Martian year.
Yeah, which is double our year,
which is roughly double ours.
Brandon says, easy enough to beam laser beams to a tiny robot on Mars. Easy enough.
Got it.
It's easy enough.
Scientists aren't sure what's causing the acceleration, but theorize.
Oh, hey, Ron says stealing energy from one of its moons. Hey, welcome to the show, Ron.
Scientists aren't sure what's causing the acceleration, but theorize it could be due to ice accumulation on the polar caps, or post-glacial rebound, where land masses rise after being buried by ice, and that change in mass changes the velocity at which it rotates, and is making it accelerate, speed up.
Huh.
Yeah. Now, if it is that post-rebound, which makes the most sense to me, but if it is that post-rebound, it will eventually stop accelerating. Because the land's only going to go so far.
Yeah, all right. So it's like, spinning a top, you're putting the force in, but eventually you're not continuing with applying force. So it's going to...
Right. So the mass is going to eventually get to where it wants because those forces are going to equal out.
Mm-hmm. Okay,
it's going to be equilibrium, and it's just going to...
Brandon says post-glacial rebound is the genre of music I make. Post-glacial rebound. That's definitely the name of a band for like an explosions in the sky or God is an astronaut. Post-glacial rebound.
That's not a punk
doing
name
some post-rock, space rock kind of shit.
That's music, yeah. If we were to make music, it'd have to be punk because none of us can play.
Oh, that's fair.
Which is what you told me last night.
That is exactly what I said to you last night.
When we went to the Oak Ridge Keg and Cask Festival.
Yeah.
Where I met an old punker.
I mean, yeah. I mean, if you're gonna be a metal band, you gotta at least know how to. If you're a guitarist, you gotta know how to play the guitar.
But
you gotta be able to scream. You gotta be able to.
There are punk bands where the musicians are accomplished musicians.
Ron said he had a post-glacial rebound situation last night. If you know what I mean.
Wow. Okay.
Congratulations, Ron.
And that's our update.
On that note, yeah. I think in The Hangover, if you stick around, if you're with us live, or if you come back later and watch the show on YouTube, we can talk about some of the other missions, and then I can yell at the U.S. Senate some more.
Yeah, and, or we can talk about whatever you guys want to talk about. Just put it in chat, and we'll talk about it. So... thanks for joining us. I don't know if Brandon's plane has been delayed,
he's never leaving.
But he was with us the whole time, and so it was good. I thought he was going to get on it pretty quick. But thanks for joining us. Join us in 2 weeks for our final episode of the season, where we do a high in the sky for September. Correct?
Yeah, we'll do a high in the sky for September, and then we're going to take a little break for ourselves to recharge and
play video games,
get our shit together, and then we'll be back September 20.
Well, it's still to be decided, but it's going to be either either September 24th or October 8th. So one of those.
We'll see. We'll keep you posted.
We'll keep you posted.
For our post-glacial rebound.
It'll most likely be September 24th.
For Season 5, post-glacial rebound.
You know what? Why don't we just say September 24th? Because we want to do a high in the sky for October.
That's
because
true.
October has some cool shit.
Yeah, it does. But you'll have to come back and join us.
Yeah, we won't tell you.
But we'll get a high in the sky for September next.
It involves the sun in my house. Anyway, thanks for joining us. Follow us on all the things. Like us and all the things. Tell your neighbors. Tell your friends. And we'll see you in a couple weeks for another High in the Sky. Everybody stay safe. Stay healthy. Keep doing the finger guns. Hey, you know what? In this country, if you want to do finger guns, do it. Do finger guns instead of real guns.
Bear arms.
Oh my God.
These guns.
Put your shirt right now. Anyway, so do finger guns instead of real guns.
Yes.
Or ghost guns or anything like that. Cheers, everybody. We'll see you later. Bye.